Hey everybody, it's Jason Blah here, and I had a subscriber who awared me of a T-Nation article that they thought I would be interested in, so I went to go check it out. I read it over, and here's a screenshot from it in the middle of the video, just kind of a important caption. And yeah, it was pretty interesting, and it's interesting because it's another one of these cases of where you have websites and all this stuff who seem to exist while pretending to be there to give you useful information. They're just there to sell products that you don't need. And now I want to be clear here when we start talking about protein supplements. I've softened my stance on that a bit. You know what, if you feel that you need a protein supplement to reach a certain target number or convenience, because maybe you don't have time to cook or whatever right now, and maybe your budget doesn't allow for you to go out and eat every single day to bridge the gap, all right, fine. If that's what you have to do to get your last 40 or 50 grams of protein a day, then so be it. I don't have a problem with that. It's when these things get promoted as necessary, that you have to drink a protein shake or that you have to have it post-workout, as if the evidence actually supports that. And for the record, it doesn't. That's a whole nother topic, of course. But here's the thing. It's just blatant stuff like this that pisses me off, when they take legitimate research and meta-analysis and use it to sell products that is not even indicated here. And to me, I'm shocked that they even were able to spin it this direction, because normally I say, hey, you know, these companies love to try to claim you need way more protein than you need to try to force you to drink these shakes, right? In this case, they gave real meta-analysis, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what it said, because Morton did this one, and it's basically concluded that maximal muscle mass could be gained with up to about 1.62, I called it milligrams per kilogram, but it should be grams per kilogram, of protein, and that's per kilogram of body weight. Now, what is it I have told you guys? Because this is a recent meta-analysis they looked at. I've always told you to gain muscle, you probably need somewhere between 1 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. He capped it at 1.62. Right? That's what you need to maximize muscle growth. And I've said that if you're in a calorie deficit, to hold on to the muscle you have, you probably need about 1.5 up to about 2 grams per kilogram of body weight. Now, the first one assumes you're in a caloric surplus. And the other thing I've pointed out, though, there might be cases where much harder training individuals, and I can assure you most of you are not. In other words, harder training, if you come in and you squat 400 pounds twice a week for a couple reps, that's not what we mean. That's not what I mean by really hard training. You come in and you squat 500 pounds every day, bench 300 plus every day, maybe some sort of Bulgarian style training. Okay, and that's what I mean by really hard training. Most of you guys aren't going to fall under that, just so that we make that clear. Might need a little bit more. And I've said that people who are like me, chronic overeaters, can sometimes find higher protein intakes useful on a recomp. All right? Because, I mean, I'm 225, 5'9", 225 pounds right now. I'm successfully recomping. And people have noticed. Thank you for the people who've noticed. But I'm on a recomp. I eat a hell of a lot more than that. In fact, I eat way more than my own recommendations. And that's where I'm going to go with this in a minute, because it even gave down the breakdown. For someone of my body weight, it said up to about 166 grams of protein. I eat 200 to 250. Ballpark. I don't track. That's my ballpark intake. And that's just a loose estimate. I do that without protein shakes. That's from whole food. That's from whole food. And I make sure that at least 150, some cases 200 grams of my protein every day comes from animal sources. Sometimes more than that. I have days where I eat 300 grams of protein because I don't track it. It just accidentally happens. I look back and go, man, I ate 2.5 pounds of meat. plus that Greek yogurt and those beans. So it happens. But here's the point with that. They go on to conclude in this article, because it says in there that intakes beyond that didn't seem to help at all with muscle growth. All right, that's fair. And that's still a fair amount of protein. That's a fair amount of protein. Your problem is that we get over to what they're saying. They write further down in the article, these amounts aren't as large as Hoffman's and his peers were recommending, which is obviously what these companies like T Nation used to use to sell products, but they're probably still more than you're currently using, and probably almost impossible to get without using a protein powder supplement. And then they provide a hyperlink to protein powders that they sell. Now, 200-pound lifter there on their same chart in this article, it says 147 grams. That's what you need. In what world does anyone in a Western country not have the ability to easily eat 150 grams of protein a day without a protein shake? That's my problem. They took this information and said, this is probably a lot less, a lot more than what you're eating. You guys telling me that guys who are eating an omnivorous diet, you know, we can exclude vegans, and vegans are less than 1% of the population. They don't even need to be a topic in the fitness world. They're a non-issue. They're statistically irrelevant. So I'm going to assume everyone out there is an omnivore. At least 99% of my listeners, and that's based upon, you know, international statistics. You're telling me that people who eat meat and dairy every day, who eat a mostly whole food diet, who are eating enough calories to gain weight, that they're not getting 150 grams of protein a day? What in the hell are these people eating? Pop-Tarts? What are they eating all day to not get that? Because I can hit 250 grams easily without tracking anything. And that's the thing that shocks me, is that they have to take these numbers and then say, well, it's almost impossible to hit these numbers without a protein shake. Really? Because I can hit 300 grams of protein a day if I forget to track my meat. Like, in other words, for me to only eat 200 grams of protein a day, I have to track. Like, if I want to make sure I only eat 200 grams, I have to track. So to me, this is just insane. Literally insane that they're using this to, again, sell products. Impossible. Pound of chicken has about 100 grams of protein. Right? A pound of chicken, that's a pair of big 8-ounce breasts. All right, if you ate one of those for lunch and one of those for dinner, and you ate a little bit of Greek yogurt for breakfast, and you had some brown rice and some beans throughout the day for the rest of your calories, you'd probably hit more than 150 grams of protein a day. You'd probably get close to 200 grams if that's what you ate. You're telling me that people who are eating enough food to gain muscle, that a 200-pound lifter who's eating enough to be slowly gaining weight, which will be required for him to slowly gain muscle generally, is going to struggle to eat a pound of chicken and to eat other food with it all day? Absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. And it's companies like this that have no shame. This is why I don't support even websites like T Nation. They occasionally have a good training article. But everything has to be about selling a product that you don't need. You know, the truth is, the only products that people really need that should be promoted be good gym membership, maybe a weightlifting belt, some good lifting shoes, maybe some wrist straps, some chalk. You know, those are products worth selling. How about lifting chalk? How about Adidas Addy Powers or Do-Wins for people who are on a budget? You know, good squat shoes. Those are products worth selling. Maybe a really high quality wrist wrap to help support your wrist, you know, for getting your bench over 300. But all these useless supplements, and in all honesty, if you totaled up all the other products I listed, I know plenty of people who spend 5 times that a year on protein powders and supplements, and it's just ludicrous. What you need are whole foods, a good diet, a few basic lifting accessories, and a gym membership to a gym with a squat rack and an Olympic lifting platform. That's what you need to make gains, guys. It's that simple. Any other products that people are telling you that are essential is a con. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.